Hello, Chris here. In this 22-part video series, I'm going to show you how to make an animated farm scene like this in Blender. In the previous videos, we made all these modules for our scene and arranged them in a scene like this. In this video, we're going to make two bridges for our scene. We will use one of these bridges for our still render image and the other bridge for our animation. If you want, you can choose the one you like for your still image and your animations. Let's get started. This is what we got up to last time. So we need to make a bridge here. So in order to do that, we need to place the 3D cursor here. So go to top using number 7, zoom into here, shift and right click here. This will place 3D cursor here. Then shift plus A, mesh. I'm gonna add a plane. Now we need to rename this plane. Select the plane, press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to bridge 1. Then press enter. Now we need to move this into new collection. So press M in the keyboard, click new collection, change the name to bridges. Then click OK. So you can see if we go here, this will move this into a bridges collection as you can see. Now we need to make our first bridge. So go to edit mode using tab, go to X-ray mode so that we can see it clearly. Then go to vertex selection mode, press A key to select all, S to scale, X to scale among X-axis and scale it like this. Then we need to make this into a bridge shape so that we can place it here. Select this vertex, G to move and place it here. Since we are in the top view, we don't need to worry about it moving in the Z axis. As you can see, this pave stone is in the way. So go to object mode. We need to move this. Select this one. G to move and move it to here. Scale it a little to get it out of the way. Now select this one. S to scale a little. That's looking good. Select this plane. Go to edit mode. As you can see, we don't have any thickness. Come out of X-ray mode. Select all using A key. G to move, Z to move and move it to here like this. Then E to extrude and extrude it to here to give it a thickness like this. As you can see, it's looking good now. We can get rid of this sharp edges by applying a bevel modifier. So go to modifier properties, add modifier, bevel modifier. As you can see, it's like this. So change this to 0.02. I'm gonna change the segments to 3. Then I'm gonna change this to 0.04. Now it's looking good. As you can see, we can move this down a little. Select all using a key, G to move, Z to move and bring it to the ground a little like this. Maybe a little more, so that it's in the same position as the pave stones. Make sure it's not inside the ground. Then go to object mode. If you go to material preview mode, it's looking like this. Now we need to apply a wooden texture to this bridge. Go to solid mode, press N in the keyboard and make sure the scale is 1 and there we have no rotation. Make sure that's the case. Press N to hide this window. Now we need to download a wood texture. So go to textures.com. Now type in wood. So you can see we have all these materials. Like this texture, you can see the name of my texture here. I'm gonna use this for the first bridge. So we need to download this. This is the albedo. So download this. Then download this normal map. Then download the roughness. We don't need the ambient occlusion or the height. Then close this. I'm gonna scroll up. Like this texture, I'm gonna download this for a second bridge. You can see the name of my texture here if you want the exact same one. Then download this albedo, then the normal map, then the roughness map. Then save the file, close this. Now we're going to apply that material to this bridge. So select this bridge, press / in the number to go to local view of that bridge. Then go to shading tab, press / to go to local view, go to material preview mode. Select the bridge, click new. You need to apply a new material. Select the principal BSDF and move it to here. Change this material name to bridge 1. Make sure the add-on node wrangler is enabled by going to edit preferences, type in node in add-ons tab, then make sure this node wrangler is enabled. There is a tick in this box, then close this window. Then select the principal BSDF, press Ctrl Shift and T in the keyboard. This will open this window. Then go to that folder you downloaded the file, then select this one, control and select these 3 downloaded files. Then click principled texture setup. This will open this texture setup as you can see. Now we need to properly arrange this node. Zoom into this one by pressing period key in the numpad. Make sure we can see clearly. Then change this to object. Then we need to change this to box. Then go here and change this to box. And go here and change this to box. Make sure this is the base color, which is the albedo. This is the roughness map. And this is the normal map. And make sure the color space for this albedo texture is sRGB. And for roughness map and normal map, it is non-color. As you can see, it's looking a little weird right now. So we need to rotate this along z-axis. So go here, change this rotation along the z-axis to 90 degree. Now it's looking like this. We can increase the scale to decrease the scale to make it look like this if you want. Going to increase the scale to here. I'm going to change this to 0.4. I'm going to change this to 1 looks good. Can change the scale here if you want. That's not going to make any difference. Then this rotation, make sure it is correct by rotating this like this. Now it's looking good. I think it's looking good. Not going to make much difference there. If you're satisfied with this result, or you can play with these values, rotation and scale and everything if you want. I think I'm satisfied with this result. You can increase the blend a little if you want to blend the different textures together. Make sure the strength is 1 for the normal map. Now it's looking good. Go to layout mode. Go to material preview mode. Press / to come out of local view. Now we applied material to our bridge. Now we're going to make our second bridge. We'll use that second bridge in our animation and this bridge for still render. If you want, you can do both of them and choose the one you like. Gonna select this bridge, go to the outliner and go to the bridges collection, and I'm gonna hide it in the render and the viewport. Go to solid mode as it's easier to model. Go to top view using number 7. Now we need to add a plane, so shift plus A, mesh, plane. Press F2 in the keyboard, change the name to bridge 2. Then press enter. Then press EM in the keyboard, select the bridges collection. This will move that into the bridges collection as you can see. Then select this one, go to edit mode using tab, go to X-ray mode so that we can see it clearly. Select all using a key, S to scale, Y to scale among y-axis and scale it a little like this. Then S to scale, X to scale among x-axis. I'm gonna scale it to here. Then R to rotate and rotate it to here like this. And G to move and move it like this to an appropriate position that will be suitable for you. Now it's looking like this. Come out of X-ray mode, G to move, Z to move and move it to here. Then E to extrude and extrude it like this. Select all, G to move, Z to move and move it inside a little like this. Now we need to add a loop cut, Ctrl plus R, left click, right click to cancel, G to move, Z to move and move it along the Z axis a little. Go to front view and see it clearly. G to move, Z to move and move it a little like this. Now it's looking good, I think. Now Ctrl plus B to bevel. I'm going to bevel it to like this. Then go to this menu and change the segments to 16. We need this and this the same length this way, so I'm gonna change this accordingly and change it to 3.98. 3.98 looks good. So change the width to 3.98 and segment 16, but it will be different according to the scale of your bridge. So make sure this faces and this face is the same size for the easy purpose of modeling. Then minimize this window. Now we need to place a loop cut here. Ctrl plus R, left click, slide it to here. Then go to face selection mode, Alt and left click on this one to select this face loop as you can see. Then Alt plus E to extrude. Extrude faces along normals and extrude it like this a little bit. Then Ctrl plus B to bevel and decrease the number to 2 like this and bevel it to here. As you can see, I only needed second one here. You can see it here, segments 2, and bevel it a little to make it look a little bit interesting. We got a bridge like this. Then go to face selection mode, select this face and control and left click on this face. This will select this face loop. As you can see, we need to insert this. Press I in the keyboard, then press I again to insert them individually and insert it to here like this a little. We need to change this to individual origins. Change this to normal, then G to move, Z to move, and move it a little, S to scale a little like this. Now it looks good. Then change this to global like before. Now we need to place one loop cut here and one here. Go to top view. It's easier to place a loop cut. So Control plus R, left click, slide it to here and make sure it's a square like this. Then Control plus R, place a loop cut to here. Now go to face selection mode, select this face, shift to select these faces. I think this one is not in the right position. Alt left click this one, GG to slide and make sure it's in the correct position like this. It's looking good. Go to face selection mode, select this, shift to select these faces. And I'm gonna select this one. It's not good geometry, but well, press I in the keyboard to insert and insert it to here. Now select these faces. It's not square like before. Then change this to normal. Change this to individual origins. S to scale, X to scale a little. S to scale, Y to scale, and make it square like this. Now go to face selection mode and select these faces. Then go to front view. Now we need to extrude this. Press forward slash in the numpad to go to local view. Change this to global and change this to median point. E to extrude and extrude it to here like this. Then need to extrude and extrude it a little. Then need to extrude again, extrude it here. Now Control plus plus to increase the selection. Change this to individual origins. S to scale again and scale it to here. Then Control plus B to bevel and bevel it like this. Now it's looking good. We got a bridge like this. Then go here, select this face, Control select this face. This will select that face loop. Shift plus D to duplicate. Right click to cancel any movement. Now go to here and change this to normal. S to scale, X to scale among X axis and scale it to like this, as you can see. Now G to move, Z to move and move it like this to here. Then G to move, X to move and move it to here in the middle like this. Maybe we need to scale this a little. S to scale, X to scale and scale it to here like this. Now it's inside these posts. Go to top using numpad 7. Go to X-ray mode. Go to vertex selection mode. Change this to normal, which is in currently right now. We need to select these two vertices. G to move, X to move and move it here inside that post. Then select these two vertices, G to move, X to move and move it here. Since we are in the normal, it will move along the normal X axis, which is good for us. Come out of X-ray mode, go to face selection mode, select this face, place the mouse cursor on that face and press L in the keyboard. This will select everything linked. Go to front view using numpad 1. Now E to extrude and extrude it to a little like this. Now it's looking good. Place the mouse cursor here, press L in the keyboard to select everything linked. Change this to median point. Now it's looking good. Go to front view, R to rotate it and make sure it's in the correct position like this. Go to top view and make sure it's good in position. Shift plus D to duplicate, Z to move alongside axis, right click to cancel, change this to global, G to move, Z to move and move it to here like this. Shift plus D again, Z to move alongside axis and move it here like this. Now we got something like this. Then go to front view, Control plus 1 using back view. This is the view we want. Go to X-ray mode, go to edge selection mode. Select this one, shift select this one, then select this middle one, then select this one, shift select this one, and shift select this one, and this one. Come out of X-ray mode, make sure these ones are good. Then Control plus B to bevel, decrease the number to 2 cuts and bevel it like this. Now it's looking good. Go to X-ray mode, go to face selection mode. Now we need to bridge this, select this one, come out of X-ray mode to select it easily, shift to select these faces. As you can see, I selected this one, these two and this one. Then go to edge, bridge edge loops. This will bridge that edge loops like this. Then go here, select this one, shift to select these ones. Then edge, bridge edge loops. Select all using a key, press period key to focus on this, which is good for me since my viewport is all over the place. Select this, shift to select this. Edge, bridge edge loops. Select these ones. Edge, bridge edge loops. And edge, bridge edge loops. Do the same here. Then edge, bridge edge loops. Edge, bridge edge loops. Now it's looking good. Place the mouse cursor here, press L in the keyboard to select everything linked to it. Go to top view, shift plus D to duplicate, right click to cancel, go to X-ray mode, G to move and move it here like this. Since we are in the X-ray mode, we can place it correctly. G to move and place it at an appropriate correct position like this. Make sure it's inside this middle. As you can see, now it's looking good. Then come out of X-ray mode. Now we got an interesting looking bridge like this. We can remove any double vertices by pressing A in the keyboard to select all, press M in the keyboard, then select by distance. We didn't have any double vertices. If you have, this will show it here. Now we need to apply the wood material to this bridge. Go to object mode using tab. Press forward slash in the numpad to come out of local view. We need to add a bevel modifier to this. So go to modifier properties, add modifier, bevel modifier. This will make it more interesting like this. Change this to 0.01. Change the segments to 2. Now it's looking good. Now we need to apply the wooden material to this bridge. So select this, go to shading tab. We were in the local view for the other bridge. So place the mouse cursor here, press forward slash to come out of local view. Then select that bridge alone. Then press forward slash again to go to that local view. Select this bridge, click this new icon, change the material name to bridge 2. Then select the principal BSDF, move it to here, Control Shift and T in the keyboard. Then go to the text we downloaded. Then select this one, Control and select these three, which is this roughness, albedo and the normal map. Then principled texture setup. This will set up the texture as you can see. It's looking good from the start, but we need to tweak this a little. Change this to object. Then we need to go here and change this flat to box. Then change this flat to box. And change this flat to box. Make sure the color space for albedo is sRGB. Color space for roughness is non-color. And the color space for normal map is non-color. And make sure the strength is 1 for the normal map. And arrange them like this. As you can see, there is a rotation here. We don't need that. So change this Z rotation a little to correct that. Now it's looking good. As you can see, think so. Now it's looking good. We can decrease the scale to make it relatively good size. I'm gonna change this to 0.2. It's too big. 0.25. Now it's relatively looking good. Maybe increase it to 0.2 a little. Now it looks good. Now we got a bridge like this. Maybe I'm gonna increase the Z value a little. I'm satisfied with this result. If you want, you can tinker with these nodes and rotation and location and everything. I think I'm gonna leave it there, otherwise I'm gonna play with it all day long. Then you can increase the blend for all these nodes a little to blend if there are any seams visible. Don't need to take that chance. Then go to layout mode. Then go to material preview mode. As you can see, we got an interesting looking bridge like this in our scene. You can move this downwards a little if you want. Select this, G to move, Z to move a little. Now it's looking good for me. If you want, you can arrange these pave stones from inside this, but I'm not going to change any of it. Then save the file, save. Now we got a bridge to our scene. Press number 0 to go to camera view. If you want, you can use another texture for the bridge and tinker with it. Apply different materials for this one and this one. But I'm not going to do that since it's going to take a lot of time. You can experiment with these textures for your purposes if you want. I think this bridge is a little big. If you go to front view using number 1, as you can see, this bridge is a little big compared to these barns. So select this one. Go to edit mode using tab. So go to face selection mode. Select this face. Shift to select these top faces. Run out of zoom. You can press period key in the number to zoom in. Now that we selected this, Control plus to increase the selection and increase it to here, then minus and increase it to here like this, then G to move, Z to move and move it a little like this. Then select this face, press EL in the keyboard to select everything linked. Then place the mouse cursor here and press EL in the keyboard, select this both. Now G to move, Z to move and move it to down a little. G to move, Z to move and move it down a little like this. Now it's looking good. You can play with this if you want. I'm satisfied with this. Then go to object mode. If you want, you can play with this and reduce this size a little if you want. I'm not going to do that. It's tedious to do that again and again. So save the file, save. Now that we got all these modules and we applied materials to them and we arranged in our scene like this, in the next video we're going to apply a soil material to this plane and a water material to this river here. That's it for this video. If you like this video so far, please give a like to this video in the bottom. And if you're new to this channel and you want to get more videos like this, you can subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button at the bottom. And if you want to get notified while I release new videos, you can press the bell icon below. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.